All living things or entities move in all, pa'ot, meaning for anything to move dwells within a greater size or dwells in an environment to move, or anything that exists inside of something else. So, entities, beings, motion, visible, invisible, exist within a whole, and that whole is the true and only absolute pa'ut, existence itself. The buck stops at pa'ut, all, which is omniverse, without need of space or movement. Nothing can be added to all, for where would you get it from? Because all is just that, all. Nothing exists outside of all, for where would you get it from? And nothing can be taken away from all, because taking away or elimination is an action in all, as all actions takes place within all pa'ut, existence itself. Understandably and unmistakably, my teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, is the only soul able to explain the difference between the universe, pre-universe, and God and his existence as a part of all and not all, neither the all. So over the ages, great confusion amongst religious scholars and philosophers have arisen on God's existence. How did this come about? This mainly arose from the ultimate and simple question: who created God? In the religion of Islam, Islamic scholars can be seen to be misleading, misled, and very confused on this matter, whereby men, scholarly men, not prophets, just mere men, schooled in Islam, posing as Allah, writing as if they are Allah, as if it is God's words, used scriptures and associated books that they claim are authentic to fabricate writings to make their God, their Allah, superior to all others by making statements that are not attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but attributes to all and the all. However, they did not realize they were confusing the uncreated as they are now. They are confusing the uncreated with the created, calling the created uncreated. Let me explain. One, nothing that is alive or exists alone, because that entity dwells in a form of space big enough for him or he to dwell within. And he is smaller than that space, but fitting into a previous space that he existed in. So that environment either existed before Allah, or Allah is the environment. Which is it? Let me explain. Allah is said to have created the seven heavens. Okay. When you created heaven one, where was you? You was in a place. Was that place there before you, or did you create that place? Because no matter how you go and you step up to each place, meaning you created heaven one, heaven two, level three, heaven four, heaven five, heaven six, the seven heavens. Well, when you created any of these heavens, you were always in a place that existed before you created that heaven. So, how can you be alone when the very space is there and you're interacting that space, meaning I am creating heaven, but I'm in a space creating heaven, meaning I am creating level 7, heaven. Where am I? I'm in a form of space that existed before me. This is simple to analyze because no matter what stage you're at, no matter what period of creation Allah is at in creating the 7 heavens, there is a space that He is in. This means the space existed before Him, or He is that space. Which is it? They would have to admit Allah is not the environment, because if He was, that means He'll be a part of waste of that space and waste material. He's always inside of another environment before He creates a next environment. That environment was previously there. They proudly claim that Allah is distinct and separate from His creation. This is another of their boldest and greatest claims that you're meant to be in awe of. In actuality, it is incongruous and unreasonably unintelligent under close scrutiny to make this claim, to make your God seem special by saying He is distinct, He's different, nothing is like Him. So, a role play we will do and examine that reveals this bright flaw. So, you are alone and apart from your creation, and unlike your creation. Okay, your creation mainly are atoms. But if you're alone, where did you reach out and get those parts from? Those parts of the atom. Where did you get them from? Because remember, you are distinct and separate from your creation. Your creation, according to Islam, that brought about the universe, the suns, the animals, and the humans into existence. No matter how you slice the dairy-free, sugar-free cake, the parts, the tools were within your reach. And if they were in your reach, then you touched it or you fought it into existence. No matter how you slice the dairy free cake or the sugar free cake, your thoughts in its most subtle form or seemingly undetectable form still exist within that creation. So anything you create is a part of you because your thoughts are still there. Your touch is still there. It was not outside of your reach. It was within your vicinity to touch the parts that became the parts that you use to creation. So you cannot make the claim that you are separate from your creation when every part of the creation is you because you touched it, because your thoughts went into it. So at no time is there God Allah alone. He dwells in space, with space. You're not alone. Space is there. And at no time is He truly separate from His creation because His thoughts dwell in each atom and each light wave. So, in order to make their God higher, men try to create statements to make their Allah look special over other gods, namely Jesus of the Christians and Yahweh of the Jews. And in the process, made these intellectual mistakes, even going as far as saying anyone who comes up with the question who created Allah is possessed by Satan. This is in their hadiths. But they forgot that many children have these thoughts naturally, which would make every innocent Muslim girl and boy directly linked to the heart of Iblis, Satan, though most of them have done nothing in their life to mind link with them or mind link with Satan. These writings were created to stop people having these natural thoughts. It's a natural intuitive thought, a natural prompt in the spirit for any child. Once They've been taught there's a God, there's a Jesus, there's a Allah, there's a Yahweh, there's a Jehovah, there's an Adonai, there's a Hashem, there's a God. Innately, they're going to come up with the question, yeah, but if he exists, then who created him?
My 7-year-old son asked me yesterday, who made Allah? He's well aware of Allah. He's 7 years of age. The Prophet, he also knows the prophets, may Allah be pleased, may Allah, peace and blessing be upon them, and he is studying the Quran. How do I answer such questions? See, these kids come up with strange questions.
Islamic scholars made that hadith up, fabricated this writing, and forgot that children naturally come up with that question. It wasn't made for children, but the people, the adults, the misintellectual scholars of Islam who created that hadith forgot to say something about children in the hadith, to not then embody everybody who has that thought as being connected to the devil, Iblis, Shaitan. And by not writing something about the children in hadith to exclude them, then those children who think and have thought and have said to their parents or guardian who created Allah, that child is linked to Satan according to your own writing. What a crying shame. All this was fabricated to stop people asking that question that they cannot truly answer. Fabricate writings in order to what? Suppress those natural thoughts so that people won't find out that Islam was made up by scholars and Arab businessmen, just like Judaism and the Christian religion that gave birth to it. One fabricated religion bred others.